that you would, so tell me why the sink is completely overflowing.
I'm sorry, I'll do them right now.
No, you don't do anything around the house. It's always me. Everything is always on me. You don't contribute at all.
I'm sorry, I can go do them right now. It's okay, it's...
Does this sound like something you have heard before? 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men will experience some form of domestic violence in their lifetime. But what actually is domestic violence?
I think what people mostly think about domestic violence is a man and a woman in some type of a relationship where one is beating the other or is mentally or emotionally abusive.
Physical abuse to the person you're in a relationship with or person you're related to when you live with. I guess physical abuse that's not in any way consensual or encouraged.
Domestic violence as defined by the state of Illinois are actions that can promote injury either to a man or woman.
Domestic violence is either physical, mental, or emotional violence between a couple.
The 3 main are sexual violence, physical violence, and psychological violence. But I don't think that anyone is more important. They're all violence.
So domestic violence is a pattern of intentional behaviors, and it's all about power and control.
Domestic violence directly affects 2 parties, the survivor and the perpetrator.
Actually, domestic violence affects everyone, so it's not a women's issue alone. There is no one single solid profile that fits all abusers, nor is there a single profile that fits all survivors. It's important to really be intentional about language and vocabulary. So our language and vocabulary at Safe Connections is all about survivors. We rarely, if ever, talk about victims of domestic violence. We always talk about people in the positive, in the hopeful, in terms of survivors. We all know language and vocabulary makes a big difference, and it's how we offer our impressions of people and how we promote our beliefs, and it's really important to be intentional about the language and vocabulary that we use, and that's respectful language when we're talking about those we serve. Everyone needs to care about domestic violence because anyone can be the survivor.
It has been documented over and over again. If you have been raised in an abusive family, that's what you learn and that's what you know.
The person who is the abuser is actively, intentionally choosing to be abusive, either financially, physically, emotionally, psychologically, and technologically. Domestic violence, because it can happen to anyone, anytime, anywhere, really needs to matter to everyone.
From the outside looking in, one would wonder why someone who is being abused would stay. Wouldn't you just leave?
Why doesn't she leave? Why does she stay in that abusive relationship? Perhaps it's because there are some faith-based reasons. Perhaps there are children involved. Perhaps there are economic considerations that she needs to make. Perhaps there are resources that she would need to have in order to actually not be in that home. The real question needs to be, why doesn't he stop being abusive?
The media is one of the most influential aspects of society. We consume it daily by watching the news, reading books, and listening to music. Domestic violence is often a recurring theme.
You see the media portraying, oh, it's so glamorous to be in a relationship. And some of the songs even are about violent relationships and how they still love the person, but I'm being beaten up.
None of it's empowering.
I feel like they kind of make it seem like it's more of a trend, like it's a fun thing to be part of instead of a serious topic.
It's become so normalized in today's society. We sing all these songs and they're so violent and it doesn't even resonate with us.
Men are portrayed as more dominant, more capable, more talented. So the media plays a significant role in the impressions that we all have of gender, roles, stereotypes. So it's really up to us to identify those, call them out, and make change. The NFL situation with Ray Rice is just horrific. There's no question about that. I think it's important for us to try to find some positives And one of the positives that's come from that is much greater awareness around the issue of domestic violence. So as awareness has increased about domestic violence, that just gives us an opportunity to make sure that more people are aware, and that may be causing an increase in the number of women, men coming forward.
But even if things are getting better, will domestic violence ever stop?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
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 I don't think it'll ever stop.
No.
I don't think it'll ever stop. We're all humans, and we all make mistakes.
Safe Connections' vision is a world free of domestic and sexual violence. I would like to think that would be in my lifetime, your lifetime, soon. I think in reality it's still going to be an ongoing process for us that may take some time to end. It doesn't stop us from being hopeful, and it doesn't stop us from being inspired to make that day come true.